What up, Rashad? It's your kinfolk, Kia Jean, Uncle Kinfolk, man, letting y'all know that the Red One movie drops November 15th. All right, y'all go see it. Hey, and the same day, I got a single coming out. Yeah, I got some music coming out and a video. Okay, it's called Fly, and it features my kinfolk Fresco Trey, produced by my kinfolk Jerome Payne, aka 2 Cent, and HZ, and it's dropping the same day as the movie, November 15th. So make sure y'all follow, subscribe, stream, watch, all that, man. I'll be blessed by the best, let them have all the rest. Appreciate you, Rashad. Thank you.
Man, snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Oh, indeed, brother.
Like, just how's life been so far?
Life has been blessed by the best, and they can have all the rest, man. I mean, I'm always thankful and have an attitude of gratitude to be healthy, to be free, and to be me. You know what I mean? First and foremost. What I'm working on right now, that's a lot. Right now, I'm currently working on season 3 of P-Valley. I'm working on the music for P-Valley, as well as I have a recurring role as Xavier in the new season that'll be out next year. I have an episode in BMF that's coming next year as well. But currently, I'm doing the festival run for a movie that I play in called Color Book. Color Book is about a father who plays by Will Catlett, you know what I'm saying, Will Catlett, and he is supported by Brandy from P-Valley as well, and a special needs actor. I'm sorry. And a special needs actor. The actor is Ja Daniels, but Ja has Down syndrome, and he's a great actor. I mean, he's just a great actor. And the movie is directed by David Fortune. I play Rico, which is a supporting actor and a supporting to Will, his father. I'm like the best friend to a father who has a special needs child, which is a great scenario because, as you know, I have autism advocates, you know what I'm saying, and I have a nonprofit for autism, and I have a child with special needs. So it was really a great opportunity for me to be able to be a part of this film, and I could definitely feel where the main character is coming from, as well as the support that was needed by my character for this particular film. It's shot in black and white. It's a real art piece, and it's been doing very well. It won Tribeca Film Festival, AT&T Untold Stories this year. It's also won a New Orleans Film Festival. These are Oscar qualifying film festivals, mind you. It won Best Cinematography there. Just won in Austin. The Film Fest is there for Best Narrative Story, and we just did the AFI Film Festival in L.A. I just got back today, as a matter of fact, and we got a chance to feature there as well. So we're just doing the film festival runs, and hopefully we get that Oscar nomination for it, and then maybe it'll get to the streaming platforms after that. But it's definitely been a great ride for me to be able to understand how the festival things work, and we also won in France too for Best Critics Award. So The Color Book is an amazing film, definitely a tearjerker. I'm glad to be a part of that. And then also, this year I recently released Half Baked, Totally High, which was the remake of Dave Chappelle's classic. And that was on Universal Films, and that's available everywhere if you haven't saw it. But I'm doing comedy in that one, and that was pretty good. And also, there's a new movie that's coming out on November 15th, Red One. Dwayne Johnson is in it, J.K. Simmons, Lucy Liu. And it's called Red One. It's a Christmas action film, and I have a part in that as well. I play a lead tech merc, and I'm prosthetics is on my face. It's a great experience. It was a huge budget on that film, $250 million budget. Is an Amazon film, and I got a chance to work with The Rock and see how the big boys do it and be on a set of that size and that magnitude, man. So that was a great experience, and that's coming out November 15th. And we shot it, though. We shot it way back in 22 going into 23, so you know what I mean, being able to see it come out now a couple years later is just an incredible thing. But that's how it is with film and television. A lot of patience. You shoot something and then you keep working. The last job gets the next job basically, and then you wait for it to drop, and it's all coming out right now at the right time. So I'm excited about it, man. I'm definitely excited about that.
Hip hop just turned 50 last year.
Yeah.
Discuss this is we've never seen Asian in hip hop. This
Yeah.
is the first time we're seeing
Yeah.
You don't know, you see rock and roll age, you see
Yes.
other genres age, jazz.
Yes.
You never seen hip hop and rap age.
True.
It's the first time we're seeing it.
True.
So I want to ask you, kind of like, what is your advice to artists right now, like learning how to use hip hop, rap as a vehicle to get to their next stop or whatever in life to continue to keep this thing going?
I think you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to really do a lot of self-examination when you're introduced to the world through hip hop. We must understand that everyone can't be hot all the time. You can't be that number one artist at all times. Now, there's some people that have great runs. Even Drake's someone that I've co-written for, the best I ever had, and been able to see him work with him in '09, and then be able to see how things are for him right now. He's still very much on top, but even him has taken some L's, as time prevails. You know what I'm saying? So I think you got to be honest with yourself and see when it's time to pivot. I think it's very important for anyone out there to know when to pivot to get it. You got to be, you can't stay stuck in a time zone or in a time loop sometimes. You may have that season where your fruit is on your tree and you are budding and you are winning and everyone is picking from your fruit because you have that right now fruit. But you got to understand, just like the leaves on the trees that's behind me, there's going to be a season where these leaves fall and your tree is not going to have that fruit. You know what I mean? That everyone is seeking. Somebody else is going to be in their season. So you got to recognize that when you're not in your season, and then when you're in your season, to make sure that when you're having a harvest season, that you're planting seeds in other things. It's you got to be able to diversify. You know what I mean? Whether that's investing in things that have nothing to do with music, whether that is picking up tasks or picking up skill sets or learning things that can be involved in music, but just in different parts of it. For an example, I do a lot of publishing work. I'm very versed in the publishing game, and I've closed a lot of publishing deals for a lot of artists and producers because of my contacts and how I've been able to self-publish and do my thing. So that's in music. That's money to be made, but that's not money that you may know about. You know what I mean? As far as the consumers. But I don't care about the people knowing about it. I care about, and I'm only speaking about it in this sense so that we can be able to understand that's a way to diversify in music. You turn your contacts into contracts. It may be you have access through your music, and now you have relationships with artists that maybe are in their season. So now you can throw a show with those artists. I've done that with Future and a lot of people like that. So being able to have access, and maybe you're not throwing a show, maybe you're giving the access to individual and promoters that are looking to book shows. There are lots of ways to continue to get paid and make money that's behind the scenes without everyone knowing about it, but still being very much involved in music. And that's what I've been able to do. You know what I mean? If I don't have the hit song out right now, hey, I may have the hit beat that I can be able to give to Glorilla, and she puts it on her first album, the EP, Anyway Life's Great, and I get that money on that project. It's not about, it's not about all the ways being in front of the camera or on in front of the mic. You know what I mean? It's sometimes finding other ways to get paid that's in the same game that you're in, but just not being stuck in it. I have to be the artist. I got to be the one right now that they're calling for, because you can reinvent the wheel. You can reinvent, you know what I mean? But you won't be new but one time. And in this game, people love the new. Whoever is got that new fruit on their tree, that's what they coming to pick from. If your tree is bare and you going through your season, your leaves starting to fall, hey, you got to find something else to be able to do. You know what I mean? So I think you got to be aware and cognizant of when it's starting to change and when things are starting to shift. And you got to pivot to get it. So I've been able to be very well versed in pivoting, you know what I mean? And understanding that, hey, I love music. I will always release music to my fan base of individuals that love what I do, but I'm aware that there are new individuals and fan bases get older. So it's like that fan is a fan of yours from back in the day. They got kids and a wife and a family now. They may still go check your shows out, but they not as up on it as those young kids that is leaving high school and is going to college and they're into whatever the new and the now is right now. So to me, the best thing an artist could do is to be able to produce, co-write, write for, these other individuals that are doing their thing. That's what I'm doing with P Valley. I've been blessed to be able to use both of my assets or my talents and gifts that God has given me to be able to write music for P Valley as well as be able to act in it. You know, I picked up acting classes way back in 2012 with Terry Vaughn. You know, just, okay, let me just try to do something else and learn another skill set, you know, and not be stuck in that same loop, in that same time loop, you know what I mean? So, because anything that's not growing is dying. The minute you stop growing, you're dying, you know?
And, you know, first I want to ask you about Crispy, first of all. To
Yeah.
get a record like that,
Yeah.
when you get a hit record that lasts decades, just how beneficial is that? I know
It's man, you know what, Crispy is one of them records, bro, that like I have been you know when someone says this, they said, man, you are before your time. Now, sometimes that's a great thing for you to be before your time. That means you're before the wave. But a lot of time when you're before your time, somebody else is gonna come through and kind of emulate what you've done, and they're gonna be right on time, and they're gonna receive a lot of the financial benefits from it. You know, I'm not saying I'm hurting out here, but at the same time, it's just like I've seen people who've kind of taken from what I've put down, the drip, the swag, the manicured locks, that whole thing and that whole wave, like, you know, and come with rapping about the drip and the sauce before a lot of people was doing that. And I don't hate that someone has, because that's what when you come out with something, if it's dope, people are gonna emulate it. You know what I mean? That's flattery when people do that. But what's been cool is that the song continues to rock because the tempo of the song matches all the DJ Mustard vibes of what he was coming with in his wave. So it's like, it's one of those records that DJs can always start their set with. It's a recurrent that keeps people moving. So that was a blessing. And then because it's about style and drip and swag, that hasn't went anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's been great to be able to. I was in LA just now, bro, and for the film festival, and there's so many people that are like, "Hey, man, that song, you know, it got me through college. It got me. I grew up to that song and that whole thing, and it's just dope, bro. I'm just glad to be able to have something that stays in the culture, so that I can be able to spin off of it. You know what I mean? If you got something that sticks, that's your appetizer. Now you got to be able to give them a full meal of something else. You know what I mean? So that was a blessing to me.
It reminds me of, like, it's always so cool, especially like you being in the acting world and the Hollywood world. It reminds me of like Tia Kareem right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's very into anime culture and things like that.
Yes, she is.
So when she goes to an anime convention like a DreamCon, she can go to the after party and do Ricky T. It doesn't matter what room in America she's in. She plays Ricky T. It's gonna go up.
Exactly. Same way with Crispy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could still go rock. Listen, I was at it's funny, when I was doing the Red One movie, one of the producers is a fan of my music. You know what I mean? Didn't even know that you know, it's like they make the correlation when they see my name on the call list. And then so while we're performing, whatever, they're playing Crispy. You know what I mean? In the background, the best they ever had, like in the background while I'm actually doing my acting thing. It's just one of those things that it's an icebreaker. You know what I mean? It's a real icebreaker in the room, and I'm thankful for it, bro. I'm thankful to have a song that people still dig and they still vibe on, you know, 17 years later. You know what I mean? What a time go, man. 17 years is crazy.
It's like Joe Budden even.
Yeah.
Pump it up. Like, people can joke about Joe Budden, but like, you can't say anything about Pump It Up. Like, they still play it.
That's why I just went gold.
You know, a song that's crazy to me too. I feel like Swag Surf is more popular now
Than it was right then. Like, but you know what's happening is that's because of social media. Social media. There's a song right now by Kinfolk Thugs, one of my crews in Memphis. Bag it up and dump it. It's called Dump Truck. Bag it up and dump it. Hey ladies, that song went viral on TikTok. You know, this year, it's part of last year, and they're back out doing shows and doing things like it just came out. You know, that's the benefit. And then with swag surfing, Boosie's on the sideline of Atlanta Hawks doing the swag surfing, and now it becomes a way. Because of social media, songs are finding new life to be able to exist.
It's posted at least once a month.
Yes, yeah, exactly, exactly.
And like, okay, now I feel like we got our business done. Now let's get into it. So at that same token, you know, that's not the only reason why you go viral this year.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hey, yeah.
There's I think my homeboy up there, up in the six, up in Toronto.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. His name slips my mind right now. But he was one of those guys that was brought up a lot. You were one of those guys that was brought up a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you straight up, do you think Drake is a culture vulture? Do you think Drake is fake? Or any of the claims that have kind of like thrown at him in this beef? But just kind of, I felt like what Kendrick was saying, a lot of that stuff was stuff that fans and people were saying kind of over the past few years.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like, that's why everybody was dancing to it, because they felt it. They were like,
Yeah.
oh, I felt Drake.
Yeah. Yep.
So I
Yeah.
want to ask you, firsthand, your experience, do you think there's any validity to Drake being fake or a culture vulture?
All right. Let me say this, man. Like, truth is truth, and truth is not hate. Truth is just truth. You know, if a million people love you, a million people hate you. It just depends on who you ask that day. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a part of the culture that we in. We live in a very opinionated business. You know what I mean? So everyone's opinion about you is not going to be the same. Though it seems like everyone's opinion about Drake was that, was the same. Of course, that's not true. Even if you go to Beyonce's YouTube, you'll see some dislikes on her YouTube. That everyone has to be subject to criticism. You just can't wear your feelings on your shoulder when it comes to it. And everybody's not hating when they just giving their opinion. You can just choose to listen to it or not. Now, with that being said, my experience with Drake, with the whole best I ever had scenario, I did witness Drake be fake to me, in my experience. That is just Kia Shine's experience. That doesn't mean that he is a fake individual to everyone else. He may be real in the rooms that he's in. But as it pertains to my experience with him, when I co-wrote the best I ever had, and I knew that the song came from a song that I wrote for Wayne, and it came from me, and I came out and said that this is what it was, and I didn't come out with it. I didn't even let it be known. I actually won an award for it. And when I won an award, it came out that I did it. It was something that I was out here trying to clout chase for. I was already getting the bag. I'm cool with getting quiet checks. Okay? I'm so cool with that because people can't hate on what they don't know. I'm very fine with that. Okay? But it was in this scenario when it came out, and he came out and said that Kia Shine was lying, and that was very fake of him because no, I was not lying. I was winning the award for being it was right there getting an award for it at the BMI award. So that, when people in the internet, when you say things are written in ink, not pencil. You can't erase them. And he has never come out and said, "Hey."
How did that affect? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How did that affect your careers?
That affected me in a bad way because it was like, I had to, just like I talked about Crispy being ahead of his time, and I was ahead of my time with the way I was able to get my publishing business together with Drake, and I was able to get paid from Cash Money, and I didn't have to sue. My business was all together, so it was no problem. So I had to wait for the public to catch up to the fact that, no, this dude Drake was lying. Drake called Sean a lie, but really Sean was telling the truth. And I had to wait that time for the public to, to just wake up for a moment and see, like, nah, his name, Ian Coleman, the Kia Coleman name is on the credit of this record. This is very much true. And Drake said it was fake. So I had to let his fandom die down so people to be able to see, like, bro, dude was telling the truth. If he wouldn't have came out and said I was lying in that moment, I probably would have got a chance to write a whole lot of more records for a lot of individuals. So, it is what it is. You're asking about it. I'm talking about it. But it's not a situation where God has stopped blessing me because of what he says. I don't believe anyone can truly blackball you on anything. But we're just talking about, yes, did that affect me in a way at the time? Yes, because Drake is the number one artist in the game at the time, and what he's saying is going. People believe, they don't want to hear the ugly truth. They'll believe the beautiful lie quick on social media. So, and that's what it was. So I felt like, and when I talked to him about it, and he understood exactly, because we met, that he was a Grammy party that was in LA in 2010, and I happened to be there. I didn't even know it was going to be Drake's Grammy party. It was just a popping spot that was in LA on Sunday nights anyway. I happened to go there. When I went there, as soon as I come in the building, I see Wayne. Wayne dapped me up, and then I see Drake And Drake is he's snarling and pushing his people over and all that or whatever. That thing is happening, and it's like, okay, so this dude wants some so he got some Anna with me, or he wants some smoke. We actually talk about it that night, and I explained to dude, like, bro, hey, bro, like, this is what it is. This music is all I got, kinfolk, and I can't let nobody take nothing from me. You know what I mean? So if you understood that, and we understood each other that night, had no issue, may it have been dope for you to come out and say, hey, bro, you know what I mean? Like, that was a misunderstanding, bro. Like, real, especially since your dad be in Memphis and your people be down there, and I know your people.
That's another thing. Okay, so I wanted to ask you how you feel about Drake, like when he uses Memphis as like kind of like his black card of it.
Yeah.
Like with the black Walker JB thing.
Yeah.
Like when he did the song with Doug.
Yeah.
The More You Went, and he did the music video of Memphis with all his cousins.
Yeah.
You feel like he kind of like uses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does. Drake definitely uses our culture to be able to win. I mean, it's true. Memphis got a certain vibe about it. He uses Tay Keith. Tay Keith is a producer. Tay Keith's from Memphis. It's smart. I'm never gonna hate on somebody doing smart business. That's smart business for him. But the reason why he lost the battle between Kendrick is because Drake don't have his own sound. Kendrick was able to go to a made L.A. stand up and say, yo, we L.A. How was this outside dude from Canada trying to come in and talking about us? He made it be about all that culture of them. You know what I mean? And that's why he won. Because Drake doesn't have his own sound to come back to. Kendrick had his own sound, an L.A. sound to be able to go do, and he went to L.A. and dropped the L.A. sound on him. Drake didn't have it. You can't run to Memphis. He tried it, but you're from Canada. You know what I mean? And then when you start talking fam, dip fam, dip dam, that's not, you know what I mean? You show in your conversation, man, that it ain't really what it is, man. You show in your conversation, man, you know you ain't Memphis, bro. You really know that. It may sound good, and that's the art of recording, because you're a recording artist. The art of recording is fire. But when you off that mic and you put that mic down, it's fam, hey fam, she's fam. That ain't that. So at the end of the day, man, it's people see what it is, and that's not hate. It's just truth. I'm not hating. That's truth. I eat with Drake to this day, but that's just truth.
And I do have to give Drake his props.
Yeah.
He ain't back down against Kendrick.
No, he ain't back down.
Any other rapper in the game would have been scared.
J. Cole backed down.
Drake didn't back down.
J. Cole backed down, bro.
After they not like us, Drake still responded.
Yeah. I respect him for not backing down.
But I respect him for standing 10 toes.
His daddy from Memphis. He at least when he was raised, look, don't back up. Don't back down. I respect that.
And I feel like enough people not saying that in this, because me, I'm one of the people like, oh yeah, Drake always sneaked this Drake. He never directed it. Drake stood 10 toes.
He stood.
And I had to respect that.
He stood.
He lost, but I had to still respect it.
He fought. J. Cole didn't fight. I lost respect for J. Cole. I've got flack for saying that. But I'm just a student and a person of hip hop. If a dude smack you, bro, you better smack back. You don't, I tell my kids, you don't got to start nothing, but you better finish everything. So at the end of the day, I still feel like, bro, why would you do that when you on songs like First Person Shooter and you saying certain things, and then when it comes down to be tested for those things that you're saying, you're gonna go opt out. That's not trill. Because we know that this battle between Kendrick and Drake was not a physical altercation. We knew that this was not Tupac and Big. We know that this wasn't Dolph and Yo Gotti. We know that. So at the end of the day, nobody's lives were being lost by that. Come with your bars. You didn't come with your bars. You came with a great excuse song of why you didn't come with the bars. It's cool. He's a talented artist. But you didn't fight. You didn't stand like a man. And because of that to me, I lost respect for J. Cole.
Where can the people keep up with you on social media to see when the movie's coming out? For sure, man. Please follow me, man. I'm a poster. I post, you know what I mean? Kinfolk_Kia, like a car, shine like a star. Kia shine. You can see what's going on, or go to coffeewithkinfolk.com. That's my website, coffeewithkinfolk.com. A lot of merch, movies, COFFEEWITHKINFOLK.com. Okay?
So go right there, because you see with these social medias like TikTok and stuff like that, you know, who knows? Instagram might be banned next. Who knows? So go to my website, to my real estate, coffeewithkinfolk.com. Okay? And also, for those of you that have family members or autistic, or you are in the autism community, please check out autismadvocates.org. Autismadvocates.org. We are different, not less. We are blessed by the best. My son is autistic. He is non-speaking, but he is beautiful and has a different ability. I'm definitely standing in solidarity with you. If you have autism and you are part of our community, go to our site, autismadvocates.org, and see what we have to be able to assist you.
Yes, sir. Kid Sean in the building.
Immediately, yes. I ain't gonna lie. Rashad, right there, that building right there,
Yeah.
a lot of babies was made right there between me and my wife, man, for real, man. Like, listen, my oldest son and my next oldest son, Jackson and Jameson, were both conceived right here. You know what I'm saying? At the 12, bro, right here at the Atlantic Station, man, for real, man. Seriously,
Crazy.
you couldn't tell me nothing back then, bro. Seriously, man, my vibe was too. I was on sexy vibe. The vibe was giving sex of the top floor up there, bro. Man,
What does this place represent to you?
I mean, it represents like when I moved from Memphis,
Yeah.
you know, and I came down here and I drove by when I wasn't staying here first. I drove by. I said, I'm gonna stay right there. This was before the Atlantic was there and before Microsoft got here. I was like, this area is fly. I'm gonna get a spot right there. My wife was like, you sure that building like a jail? I said, baby, that building's fly. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And ended up getting us get a spot in that building right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right there. Yes, indeed. And it's funny because Dro was my neighbor. Drake stayed down here for a minute too. You know what I mean? So it was fertile ground. It was definitely fertile ground, bro. For real, man.
For sure.
Indeed.
You and Drake was cool down there?
I mean, he was cool with my dude E.
Yeah.
My guy E from Memphis, he was a dope boy, but he had got locked up, and he was helping Drake, you know what I mean, put some money into him or whatever. Shout out to my boy E.
Yeah.
And E was trying to connect me with Drake, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I still got the car E had gave me, whatever, with Drake number on it or whatever. This is when he still was doing stuff with Trey Songz and all that.
Yeah.
But my kinfolk E was putting money into him, helping him out, though.
But you got to think, you gave him his first one.
Hey, man, I was a blessing to be able to be a part of it, bro. I'm always like that, though, even with Yo Gotti. That Light album, you know what I'm saying? That was his first joint, you know what I mean? That really, he was national or whatever, man. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've always been blessed to be right there at the beginning, you know what I'm saying?
How you feel about the female kind of run that
Man, I
Memphis
love it, bro. I love it. That's she's from Frazier. You know, that's my, like, that little queen folk is from Frazier, you know what I'm saying? So she is quintessentially exactly what a Frazier female is like, you know what I'm saying? A Memphis female is like, she hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just kind of like soft on the inside a little bit, but like hardcore, you know what I mean? Will say anything, ride with you like a nigga, you know what I mean? That's really what a Memphis female is like. She really is that, you know what I'm saying?
And Gloss Up and K Carbon.
Gloss
and
Up, shout out to Gloss
Slime
Up, shout out to
All
K
of
Carbon, Slime. I got records with me and Slime got records together on the P Valley new
Shout
season.
out Slime.
You know what I'm saying? But and Gloss Up was on the remix of the record that I did for Glorilla to Get That Money on that Anyway Life's Great EP she put out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, shout out to all of them. K Carbon, I got records with K Carbon too. Shout out to all the women in Memphis though, man. Lil Chat,
Yeah.
you know I put out a full album on Lil Chat now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Lil Chat is definitely queen
Is,
vibes.
Enchanting from Memphis?
Yeah, Enchanting is from she's from Houston, Texas, I believe.
Okay, she's
Nah,
from Texas.
but there's a girl that she was beefing with, bless her soul,
Yeah.
AR Mermaid.
Okay.
And they had the
Yeah,
kind of that same
yeah.
similar sound. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? But yeah, AR Mermaid. A lot of the women from Memphis is doing their thing, bro. It's a women time though right now though, bro. From
Sure.
Cardi to Meg to
Yeah.
you know what I mean, to Tia
Yeah.
to I mean, it's just
Anicia Caribou.
man, Anicia, Caribou, Lotto,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, Meg.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, man, it's a women time right now. It's just their time. You know what I mean? That's what they want to hear. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, kid.
No problem at all.
Man, snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
It's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.